And we are here for the deep dive. We even got a secondary burp. Sheesh.
Yeah. Oh, sorry about that. My stomach was doing somersaults. Took a little bit longer than we had to wait for the fucking.
Well, it is a shit show.
Yeah. Yo.
All right, well, real quick, because I know this is a deep dive, one topic only, but it could be a separate video, so I just like to point out we are live streaming now. It's supposed to be every week, every Sunday. It's also going to be on YouTube after the fact, and then we're still going to be on Spotify as per usual.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-mm-mm. You know what? I'll say it. Whenever we get to a point, this kind of relates to our deep dive. We'll get some traction from this, bro, and you can 1v1 me and Logan anytime on Call of Duty.
Yeah, we'll do it live. Well, maybe, but yeah.
Have you seen those videos of like that dude that goes to the drive-through and does that shit?
I have not. No.
Oh, okay. He brings like a little TV and like his 360 or PS3 and like has like Black Ops 1, bro, and he'll like 1v1 the people in the drive-through.
Good lord.
Anyway, sorry, I don't mean to get off topic, but yeah. So last week we did PlayStation or Xbox. So this week
we thought it was only right to do PlayStation. It'll be a little brief history lesson for you guys. It's gonna be all the consoles that they've ever released and the most sold game on said console, and maybe a little bit of opinions on the ones that we did have, and some funny memes along the way.
Yes, sir.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Some funny times going. But hell yeah, bro. So last week for Xbox, obviously we kind of talked about it because Xbox has been in the news a little bit recently because of the CEO changes and the controversy behind that ordeal. So we just kind of decided to do that. So as we get into PlayStation stuff, PlayStation kind of has been, this. Correct me if this isn't the correct term that you would use, Logan, but they've kind of been under the radar recently.
Like in a good way. They've just
been like they haven't really
along.
they just kind of been there. Like they haven't really had like any, unless I've been missing it, but they haven't really had like any major changes in their future plans or in their infrastructure, at least ones that are publicized. I think if they change CEOs, I think it would have been known.
There was some drama back in the Helldiver days. I don't remember if that was PlayStation's fault, but yeah, nothing massive.
Yeah, I did see a thing. I think PlayStation kind of responded to Xbox saying that they weren't going to like continue the like bringing the Xbox games to PlayStation, and PlayStation came back and said if that's the case, then they're going to remove, not only not come out with their games on PC, but they're going to remove the ones that are already on there from the Steam, like from the Microsoft shit.
And what happens if you already fucking own it? But that's not what this topic is about.
I would probably venture to say that if you already own it, they wouldn't do nothing. But
we've seen
chip in my 2 cents here. That's why I think physical media is king. But anyway.
But the problem with the new age consoles is it wouldn't even matter.
No, yeah, in some ways, yeah.
Because you're essentially just inserting a fucking download code.
Yeah, it's like a license, pretty much. It's all the game's not on the disc anymore. So
yeah, but anywho, without further ado, we can start ripping through these slides. What?
And real quick, PlayStation kind of differs from Xbox because we got some handhelds we're going to talk about. So that's a little interesting, more cohesive or collaborative, maybe is the right word, than Xbox was in their system cycles.
Yeah, and they have Xbox has a handheld now, but kind of it's like a partnership with Asus, however you say it. But
Asus.
And then before we go anywhere else, we didn't put the PlayStation Portal on here because that's technically not a standalone unit.
Yeah.
Anywho, what do we got going on here? What do we got cooking here? What do you think the very first PlayStation was? Any guesses? See,
PlayStation Series S.
yeah,
No,
see,
I'm
yeah,
sorry.
that's what I was gonna say. If this was the Xbox episode, you truly would not be able to answer that. Well, you would for the first, but not anything after that.
So it's kind of cool. Like I kind of, I did make the joke the last deep dive. Like it's called an Xbox because it's a box with an X, but PlayStation, it's kind of cool. Like if you really think about the word PlayStation, like they've kept it since the 90s that they came out with the first PlayStation or whatever the date was on it. And yeah, it was in the 90s. Damn. Um, and they just stuck with it, and it's very simple. It's a station where you play.
Yeah, and like we talked about, that's where Xbox shit the bed. I think. Yeah, we got
Yeah.
Phil in here. They closed Blue Point Studios, one of the best studios they had. Bought them and then closed them. 30 years. A Sony guy, and there's nothing like there used to be.
I didn't know that, honestly.
I did know that, but I forgot, and that wasn't in the slides here.
You
Look
know,
it
one
up.
of the things that I think I did hear about not that long ago was something with Naughty Dog. I thought I saw something that they weren't doing too hot. I think that they had some infrastructure changes, if I'm not mistaken.
Well, they're getting a little effed on this new release. I don't even remember what it's called, and I'm not gonna get political on here, but the there's been a wave of adding certain things to certain things, and then certain things don't work for certain things. That's all I'll say. But
Wait, what? All right, you heard it here.
yeah, that's a fact. But
Very
anywho,
professional.
are you ready for this first slide?
Yeah.
All right. Get ready for these amazing photos. We have the first PlayStation, otherwise known as the OG. Oh yeah, look at that. Look at that gangster. Look at that gangster console right there.
The OG. It's funny because like somebody that wouldn't like that is like kind of learning English, if they were to see that, they probably would be like PlayStation OG.
Yeah.
Because I didn't put periods in between O and G.
No, you
Sorry,
did
sorry about
not.
that.
Phil says it was originally a partnership with Nintendo. Nintendo pulled out and Sony went on their own. And that's how the PlayStation was born. Well, look at that.
Yeah, yeah. I was gonna say because I was looking at this, kind of reading ahead a little bit, and 1994. I was gonna say that kind of sounds. I didn't realize that it would have been around the time that the Nintendo consoles were coming out, but that makes sense now.
Yeah, we need to get you in here on the deep dives more. They were going to release it as a Nintendo Drive. Huh.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Oh yeah. So to kind of play on what he's talking about, it says here that it was part of the fifth generation of video game consoles competing against the Sega Saturn and the Nintendo 64.
Huh.
So that's kind of crazy because the Sega and the Saturn, I don't really know too much. I had a Sega Genesis, but the Saturn, I don't know. Nintendo obviously was still on cartridges, so PlayStation was kind of coming out of the shell a little bit, coming out with the disc.
Yeah. They it definitely slapped pretty hard. I got the numbers right here. I should have put this somewhere else because now all you're gonna see is the white in my eyes while I'm reading, but
You look like you're freaking Reagan, bro.
yeah. Let's see. What were they known for? 3D Revolution, CD era,
Mm-hmm.
when it all
Mm-hmm.
started, and look where we are now. Massive third-party support. Look where we are now. And PlayStation as a cultural brand. The original Sony PlayStation has sold over 102.49 million units worldwide as of March 31st, 2007. It was the first home
Damn.
console to break the 100 million unit sales.
More than Nintendo? That's kind of wild to me.
According to this, yeah. We also have all the console iterations in these slides. So this was the first one, as we know. This here was the second, the Slim. Honestly, that thing looks pretty fugly, if you ask me. But I'd imagine for its
Bro,
time, it was probably a hot commodity.
it looks like one of those old school like freaking mobile DVD players. And
It
you like
does.
open the top and you press that thing and it just like lifts up and you click it in.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
I
then
did not have a Slim. I think I had. If I didn't, no, I did have the OG, the big beefy boy. I had that one. Um, but I do remember having the other Slim. Like, no, that was the PlayStation 2. Never mind. Never mind. Scratch what I
okay.
just said. I never had a PlayStation 1. I'm just gonna be honest.
Okay. Fucking, you ain't boomer enough, boy.
Hey, damn.
Let's see here. Here's the most sold game. I would have never guessed this, but I wasn't really gaming back then. But Gran Turismo was the best-selling game on the original PlayStation worldwide. That thing sold 10.85 million.
Yeah. I mean, I'd be interested to see like some of the other numbers for games, but I really don't think that video games were as much of a huge market as they were as they are now. So I mean, that number is probably pretty big considering the fact.
Yeah, yeah. No, it's definitely blowing up.
Yeah, because I mean, GTA 5 alone, as we saw on the Xbox deep
Sold
dive,
like 8
sold
generations, yeah.
outsold it by like 10 times over. Yeah,
Yeah.
but that's pretty wild, bro. Gran Turismo. I honestly can't say I ever really played Gran Turismo.
I've tried him. I was never really a fan of the more realistic simulation type racing games.
Is that like a lap racer? Like you
Yeah.
do laps? Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
It's
Yeah,
like
it's
Forza,
like
not
a computer.
Horizon, but Forza.
Oh, okay. Okay. Well, yeah, there we go, bro. Well,
All
what are
right.
your? So I already kind of said it, but I don't have any. I know that you had a PlayStation 1. If you wanted to give your little tidbits on it, but I don't. I don't have nothing to
I
say about it, bro.
I don't really recall, honestly. I would have been too young. I'm sure we did. It looks familiar, but I don't know. But
Damn.
the second one we definitely did, and that's gonna be. Can we all guess what the second PlayStation was called?
PlayStation 2 XD7.
Yep, that's it. 1S Series Digital. There it is.
Oh fuck yeah. No, but I had this one right here. Is what I meant. The big beefy
Same,
boy.
same. The OG
The
birth.
PlayStation 2.
Yeah.
Yeah, that shit be looking like something out of Star Wars, bro. It looks like a fucking like a fighter fucking jet up in the sky.
Yeah.
That thing is wild. But PlayStation 2. So let me see here. PlayStation 2 was released in 2000. It was released. This is kind of interesting. It was released 1 year before its competitors, the original Xbox and the GameCube. And the cool thing about PlayStation 2 is that it was backwards compatible with the original PlayStation games. That's actually kind of cool
Yeah, they
that they
started
were
it.
doing that
Or
even
they were
back then. Yeah.
yeah.
Hell yeah. Okay. But anyway, the PlayStation 2, let me get into the numbers here. I already talked about the year it came out. The launch price. By the way, the launch price for the PlayStation 1 was 100. That's not terrible.
Dang, yeah,
But
I didn't
that was
have that.
back in the 90s though.
Yeah. Yeah, I meant to do the I forgot to do the price and then I was gonna adjust it for inflation, but oops, here we are.
That's all good. The PlayStation 2 though came out for 299. That was the price tag on that bad boy. That big old hunk of metal and wires.
Damn.
Yeah. But considering its counterpart, like how you or its predecessor, how you were talking about the PlayStation, the unit shipped was actually 155 million.
Sheesh.
Yeah, so the PlayStation 2 kind of came in swinging. It definitely had some more traction than some of the Xbox did, I think. I don't remember the exact number, but I think PlayStation still was kind of already established. So I feel like a lot of their numbers probably came from people that had a PlayStation, and probably kind of how we are now. Like if a new station came out, like a new video game console came out right now, people that have been playing Xbox and PlayStation would probably be like, "What the fuck?"
Yeah.
So I would probably say some of those numbers contribute to people just wanting to stick to what they already know and not try something new. And of course, there's other people that like to experiment and explore. But
yeah, it takes a minute, especially financially, to get the next latest and greatest thing.
yeah. But anyway, I'm just going up here on the PlayStation shit. Yeah, that was pretty much it. I really think that this might be actually have the most sold units. I don't think PlayStation 5 has been, it's not out of its life cycle yet. So we don't know how many PlayStation 5s have been sold, but I think the PlayStation 2 might be the most sold PlayStation if I'm looking at the numbers correct here.
Dang.
So this was definitely a staple in the PlayStation universe.
Yeah. Then they dropped this skinny little thing.
The PlayStation 2 Slim. Let me see. So the PlayStation 2 Slim came out in 2004. So this was only 4 years after the launch of the original PlayStation 2. The PlayStation 2 Slim was the first major redesign of the PlayStation 2. The Slim was smaller, thinner, quieter, and also included a built-in Ethernet port.
Oh.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And then, interestingly, in 2007, Sony began shipping a revision of the Slim, which was lighter than the original. So they kind of did a slimmer Slim a little bit down the line.
Slim.
And they didn't really advertise it. And then also in 2008, they released yet another revision of the Slim, which had an overhauled internal design that incorporated the power supply into the console itself, like the original PlayStation 2, resulting in a further reduced total weight of the console. So they made a slim.
Dang.
Slim cubed.
Dang.
Yeah.
They slapped that thing with Ozempic before Ozempic was even Ozempic.
Got on there, bro. So this is kind of cool. I'll say the PlayStation 2, like I said, launched at $299. The PlayStation 2 Slim, whenever it came out, was $150 cheaper at $149.
Dang. All right.
So they reduced the price, which is not something we see in today's day and age in the console or in the video game world.
Yeah, we got a Phil right here brought a Slim with me to Iraq. Yeah, I mean that's the idea of a Slim. Yeah, I don't think there's maybe like a mini PC or I don't know. There's not much around nowadays that's that small, other than a handheld, obviously, but pretty wild.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to be bringing no PlayStation 5 to Iraq, bro. That thing would probably. We're gonna get to it here in just a little bit, but if you brought a PlayStation 4, especially the Pro, they would be able to hear you down a fucking mile down the road. Yeah. So you wouldn't want to bring that one either.
Yeah, and then we got a Jedi Zombie in here. I miss my PS2. Pretty iconic.
Yeah, the PS2 was iconic, bro. As I wrap up my little portion here, I did have a PlayStation 2. I definitely played quite a bit of stuff on there. I remember playing Call of Duties on here as well as on the Xbox, but I did play a lot of Call of Duties on here. And I want to say Resident Evil. I don't remember exactly which one. No, I don't remember exactly which Resident Evil I played on there. But anyway, that leads us to the best-selling video game of the PlayStation 2 cycle. Surprise, surprise! Grand Theft Auto San Andreas.
It almost sold a lot.
Double. Yeah, and it almost sold double what Gran Turismo did in its PlayStation 1 cycle.
Yeah, it just goes to show this is when video games started kind of building steam. We got a Jedi Zombie, my favorite Spyro. That was a banger. I
Spyro's cool.
Slightly recall that. I know who it is. Yeah.
Oh, dude, I don't know why that made me think of a game I used to play a shitload. I think it was on PlayStation 2. Tak and the Power of Juju. You ever play that game, bro?
The fuck? No, it doesn't sound like you're speaking English.
I'm not. No.
Oh, we're speaking English.
I've been doing a second language on the side. No, but I'm pretty sure that it came out on PlayStation 2, if I'm not mistaken. I don't know why Spyro made me think of that, but
Huh.
I also played a shitload of that whenever I was growing up too. But anyway, this was definitely around the time, Logan, of the good old days where you had to write down the cheat codes, bro, and you go into the start menu and
Oh,
down,
yeah.
down, square, square, down, right, circle, down, 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 down.
Hell yeah.
And you got a freaking free Uzi with unlimited bullets in it.
Yeah.
But it was really cool, bro. The PlayStation 2 was really sick, and I also remember playing a lot of WWE games on the original PlayStation 2.
All right. All right.
Yeah. Anyway, that's the PlayStation 2. Oh, and for those on the Spotify, 17.33 million is the number for Grand Theft Auto San Andreas. That's the third one, right?
The third GTA, I
Grand
believe
Theft Auto?
so. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, so this one's before Nikolai, the big Americans.
All right. Well, yeah, we're definitely progressing. So what they did with the PlayStation 2, they released it, and then they slimmed it down, and then they slimmed it down, and then they slimmed it down. And what comes after that? The fattest console that has ever lived on this planet. The PlayStation 3, otherwise known as Big Bertha. Phil says SOCOM Navy SEALs. All right, all right.
Oh, I also played Star Wars Battlefront on the PlayStation 2.
Okay.
That was another one. I'm now it's all coming back to me. It's been a long time since I thought about those days, bro.
My memory is cooked.
But Big Bertha, bro. PlayStation 3.
The PlayStation 3 is Sony's 7th generation home console, launched in 2006 as the successor to the PS2, built around the experimental cell processor, okay, fancy, and the Blu-ray media. Ooh-wee. Ooh-wee. That's why it costs fucking, you had to sell a left kidney and a right testicle if you wanted to get that thing.
Well, hold on. While you're on that point, let me just bring up, because I got the numbers here. The PS3 was at launch for a 20 gigabyte hard drive, $499. So it's actually not as bad as I remember. But if you wanted the 60 gigabyte hard drive, $599.
Oh, see, I thought it was 7. Phil says people are getting big bucks for an OG PS3 fat. Yeah, I bet. It's iconic.
Yeah.
It could be a weapon. It could be a paperweight. It could be a lot of things.
This isn't the one that had the slide, right? We're going to get to that one?
Yeah,
right?
that's coming, yeah.
Okay.
Let's see. With a long life from 2006 all the way to 2015. I don't know. Are our current console life cycles that long? Almost, huh? Minus the
I think if you
generations.
count, I was about to say, if you count the pros and stuff, I think they've been sticking to a 5-ish year cycle from what it appears.
Yeah. And a big legacy for online services and first-party games. PS3 was revealed at E3 2005. How's that for a throwback, huh? And first released on November 11th, 2006 in Japan, November 17th in North America, and March 07 in Europe and Australia. It completed in the 7th generation against Xbox 360 and Wii as the high-end HD/Blu-ray driven machine in the market. The console's commercial life ran roughly from 2006 to the mid-2010s with hardware revisions, which we're going to get to in a second. I'm not going to go into the processor or nothing, but PS3 was the first console to adopt Blu-ray disc as the primary game media, which enabled large multi-layered games and helped Blu-ray win the HD format war.
So I was a huge Xbox 360 player whenever in this cycle. I did have a PS3, as I'll say in a bit, but it was cool how PlayStation, you only had to have one disc for those big games. That is cool.
Yeah.
360, I had to put in 4 discs to play freaking Red Dead 2, or not Red Dead 2, but Red Dead.
Yeah. Phil is saying that E3 reveal was shit, apparently. I definitely wouldn't remember that. Jedi Zombie, I had my PS4 for 9 years, LOL. Yeah, it could last a minute. This is what's crazy to me, and you already mentioned it earlier, but hard drive sizes ranged from 20 gigabytes and 60 gigabytes at launch. Could you imagine what that would do for you now? Like after the operating system's on there, I don't even think you'd be able to play a single game.
No, I'm trying to think like maybe a game like Phasmophobia
Or
in
like Rocket
today's
League,
day and age.
maybe. I don't know how big that game. Yeah, yeah,
Maybe,
something small
maybe.
for sure. At launch up through 500 gigabytes on later super slim models. Woo! And then they
It kind of, as we did the deep dive in Xbox and this one, it kind of shows you like how fast tech was like moving.
yeah. Phil is
Yeah.
saying go watch it. We'll have to watch that after this, the reveal. Um Super Slim with and this is when they started adding the 2.5-inch drive bays where you can upgrade it yourself. Pretty nice. It supported CD, DVD, and Blu-ray movie playback, plus playback of many digital audio and video formats from hard drives, disk, or networked devices. There we go. There we go.
Oh yeah, bro.
All right, so now we're gonna move on to the Slim. This is a pretty clean looking console. I think I had this one for a hair, for a little
That's the
wrinkle of
one that
time.
yeah, that's one I eventually got.
Yeah, yeah. It was nice. I don't have any notes on this, but I remember that controller being absolute booty. Like you pick it up and you almost throw it across the room because it was so light.
I remember. I don't think I ever picked up one of these PlayStation 3 controllers and it didn't rattle on the inside.
Yeah. Compared to at the time a 360 controller that felt like a fucking brick, but like in a good way. Maybe it's just because it's what we were
Yeah,
used to, but this shit was kind of mid.
yeah, yeah. I did like the Xbox controllers up until the most recent PlayStation. Honestly, I like the Xbox One controllers better than the PlayStation 4 ones too.
Yeah, I do have an Xbox One controller for my PC, and I'm not I don't like controllers. Well, I don't not like them. It's just been forever since I've used them. But the Xbox One is a little bit more comfortable on the hands. But anyway, yeah, this is a pretty clean looking console. That was between
Mm.
09 and 12. Let's see, 120 to
And
320 gigs.
and by the way, it debuted at $299.
Oh yeah, there you go. You got Ethan with the prices. This thing only had 2 USB ports on it. That's pretty. I guess that's standard. And then came this thing. A little, probably, I mean, one of the most interesting consoles that we've had in a while. I mean, there she is, the Super Slim. Slim Jim James. That was from 012 to 15. Apparently
This
it was the
console's cool
cheapest.
though.
It is. Was.
Actually, if you're going off of this, it's not because it was $269. Oh, no, it was. It was the cheapest
Yeah.
by $30 whenever it came out. It was cheaper by $30 than the last one we just talked about. But yeah, the Super Slim, it's cool, bro. I actually like the sliding door concept. I think it made for a cool little addition.
Yeah. You got Luis in here ruffling up some feathers with a hot take. Every real one knows that the path of console was PS2 to 360 to PS4 to PS5 and then ultimately to the PC.
I agree up until that point. Luis can't even say that because he didn't have a PS5. What are you talking about?
And then
he did that trajectory, but he went from PS4 to PC.
yeah, he did. But then he got PS5 after, kind of like I did. Let's see. We didn't really. I don't have controllers planned in here, but I'll talk about them. Just because I already brought it up. The original controller was 6-axis, a wireless pad with motion controls, but no rumble due to early legal and design issues. What the hell? So that's why it was so light. There was nothing in the hands.
That's why that thing was rattling every time I moved one of those PS3 controllers, bro. As I would legit hear like a little.
Yeah. DualShock 3 replaced it later, restoring force feedback while keeping Bluetooth wireless, 6-axis motion, and the same basic PS2-like layout. The console supported up to 7 Bluetooth controllers. What fucking game would let you do that? And allowed USB charging via front port.
Damn. I think this one is cool, bro. I don't know why. I just I would honestly like that console just for that sliding effect, bro.
I think I want to say I bought one from Noble forever ago for some stupid reason, and then I sold it. But oh,
You sit on a
Luis
gold mine.
Luis comes in and said, I said PS5 or PC. Oh, yeah, that was my apologies. He had arrows to everything, but then PS5 has a slash. That was user reader error.
Okay, then yeah, I definitely agree with you there, Luis.
Yeah. All right, what are we thinking in the most selling game? Big shot. It was Grand Theft Auto 5. Over 15 milli.
Isn't it crazy though that San Andreas actually sold more than GTA 5 on this console?
Yeah, but GTA 5 as a whole, I don't even.
Yeah, so to be fair, GTA 5 came out at the end of this life cycle of 360 and PS3. If you remember, it wasn't very shortly after that PS4 and Xbox One came out.
Right. Yeah.
So that's a pretty good amount of money for probably maybe a year of being like you couldn't get the PlayStation 4 yet, you know. So that was only probably a year. That's pretty good.
And then Rockstar being Rockstar, I think you could finally get GTA 5 for like $20, but it only took like a decade. You had to keep rebuying that shit for $60.
And people did, bro. It's why we saw on Xbox. It was the highest sold game since the 360.
Yeah. Sony pitched the PS3 as a supercomputer for the living room, highlighting folding at home distributed computing using spare processing power for scientific simulations and a media server functionality. It was widely used as an affordable Blu-ray player, especially early on when standalone players were expensive. The console supports... Yeah, see, I think they came in swinging at that generation, and then the Xbox One came out after this, and they're like, oh, here, we'll take a hand at this whole media station thing. But that ship had already sailed, and then they just fell flat on their face. Just my opinion.
Yeah, well, I think Xbox tried to capitalize more on the streaming. Like, you could get a lot of streaming applications on an Xbox, like more than you could on a lot of even smart TVs. Like there was a lot of streaming applications that were exclusive on Xbox.
Right. Yeah.
So I think that's what they were trying to capitalize on. Well, now it's physical media for the PlayStation 3, but as you get into the Xbox One and 4 era, it's like that's where the physical media started to kind of decline and people started streaming more.
Yeah.
As you see with like the Netflix shows, like Stranger Things that we talked about came out in like 2013 or whatever. It's around that same time.
Yeah, for sure. Let's see. Over time, this is the last one, and we'll move on. Price cuts, slim/super slim hardware, and strong first-party lineups helped the platform recover and eventually ship tens of millions of units worldwide, roughly catching up to the 360 in a lifetime sales, though still behind the Wii.
Yeah, it's really hard to beat Nintendo, bro. Nintendo, they just have the algorithm down. Like they know how to price their consoles, and they know what their customer base like expects, and they deliver almost every single time.
Yeah, they don't deviate.
Yeah. Yeah. So even though I'm not very big on Nintendo, like I do give them credit because they know exactly how that market runs. I mean, they're pretty much the godfathers of it. You really think about it. So
pretty much, yeah. But anyway, I spent a lot of time on that. My apologies. There was a lot of iterations there. But now we're on to the real boy.
Yeah, we're moving on to the PlayStation 4, otherwise known as the Rocket Fighter 3000. Why might it be considered a Rocket Fighter 3000? If you're watching the YouTube, you would see, but if not, because this thing sounded like you were taking for liftoff, bro. I don't even know how it never caught fire anytime I turned it on. Like thinking back on it, I remember like playing Call of Duty and stuff with you or any of my other friends, and they would they would tell me like, "Oh, your fan's on." Like they thought my fan was on. No, that was my PlayStation from across my living room. Just what?
Day one was bad. But as that stuff, as those fans, the one fan started accumulating dust, it was game over.
Yeah, and I threw in a Rick and Morty plug here because it did sound like the Screaming Sun.
Yeah, Jedi Zombie. It was louder than a MG. Yeah.
It was so fucking loud.
And you wouldn't even have to do anything. You could literally just be on the home screen, and then you like open YouTube for 2 seconds.
Yeah. You probably open that bitch up, and if it was on, you could fry an egg on it, bro. Honestly,
Probably.
that thing was wild. But
Yeah.
somehow my PlayStation 4 never combusted, so got to give them props, I guess, on that part.
Yeah.
But anyway, the PlayStation 4, the original model, was announced by Sony at a press conference on February 20th, almost exactly 13 years ago. That's wild. In the meeting, Sony revealed some hardware specifications of the new console. It announced the x86. Okay, sorry, I don't mean to get too dry there with that stuff. I'm trying to find like the exact date it came out. Okay, so the PlayStation 4 was first released in North America on November 15th, 2013, as part of the 8th generation of video game consoles. It competed with the Xbox One, Nintendo's Wii U, and eventually the Nintendo Switch, which I guarantee the Switch outsold all those put together.
Yeah. Yeah. The Wii U is
that freaking Switch took it over. Yeah, the Wii U did not do so hot, but the Switch, bro, that thing probably easily sold way more than any of those other ones.
Yeah.
But anyway, let me see here. We get down to the initial price. The initial price tag on the PS4. This was back in 2015, so roughly probably around the same amount now, probably a little bit more. But it debuted at only $400, which is kind of surprising.
Not bad. Not bad.
I'll put in a little story here, bro. I remember whenever me and you were playing one of the Call of Duties. I don't know if it was Black Ops 3 or something on the 360, maybe not. I don't remember exactly which one it was, but we were debating. I remember we used to debate. Like, I wanted to go to Xbox One, and you were like, no, PlayStation 4 is where it's at. Trying to do all this stuff. And I eventually agreed because I came and we played Destiny. I don't know if you remember on your PlayStation 4.
That was a banger.
And yeah, that shit sold me, bro. So I literally went home and gathered everything that I had on my 360, which I had a lot. I had a lot of games and I had a lot of accessories. I didn't have it a Kinect, but I had like the text pad. I had Turtle Beaches. I had an updated hard drive on it, and then I had like a shitload of controllers because me and Logan used to revive old controllers and fucking put some paper clips in there, make them modded.
OG hair triggers, yeah.
Yeah, so I had a shitload of controllers, and I took all that to GameStop, sold all my stuff for it, and I think it actually ended up paying me more than what the PS4 was worth. So it's wild to think about. Like, I had like over $400 as a minor in video game equipment to get this PlayStation 4.
Back in the day when GameStop would actually give you a decent chunk.
Yeah, pretty much. But yeah, so that's the PlayStation 4, the original. I thought it was a good console, bro. I didn't really have any problems with it, aside from the sound, you know.
Yeah, same here.
Yeah. But moving on here, as we get later on into the life cycle, specifically, only a year later, it was unveiled on September 7th, 2016, as the PlayStation 4 Slim. I like to call it the Wi-Fi router because that's exactly what it looks like.
We got Jedi Zombie in here. I got an Xbox One after I bought my PS4 just to play Halo. And then turns out all the new Halos were booty. Just my opinion.
Halo 4 came out, and I still had my 360. And yeah, I was completely disappointed. I think that was probably one of the other straws that broke the camel's back for me whenever I decided to switch to PlayStation, because Halo was a fucking alien shooter, bro. I could not get behind killing robots. It just did not feel fun anymore.
They did the same thing with Gears, yeah.
Yeah, I couldn't. That might be a nitpicky thing, but I just couldn't. I couldn't anymore. After I played 4, I was like, I'm good. And I haven't even looked at any of the new Halos that have come out since. So we're chilling with that. But anyway, the PlayStation 4 Slim actually came out. It was unveiled in September of 2016, and then it came out on September. Hold on, wrong one. September 15th, 2016. So that is when it came out. So they had a 500 gigabyte model at the same price point as the original PS4. So that's a little crappy, I guess. This is kind of where we get into the thing that I was talking about earlier. Where we saw is like the PlayStation 3 and 2, as they came out with the iterations, they actually made them cheaper for people that wanted to upgrade their stuff. But now we get into, of course, the money generations, as we've now been a part of, and the PS4 Slim was the same exact price as the PS4.
Kind of goofy.
So, yeah. But it is what it is. I honestly never bought any other one. I kept my PlayStation 4. I had the white the Destiny. It didn't have the symbol on it, but it was the white one. That's the one that I got, the original PlayStation 4, and I didn't. I never got any of the other ones, so I don't know if you can talk on this, but I can't.
You never had a Pro?
No.
Oh, yeah, I had a Pro there for a little bit. Yeah, words are hard. In comparison to like other console generations and their mid-life cycle iterations, I think the PS4 was slapping hard. Compared to like the PS5 and the PS5 Pro, I feel like the jump was a lot bigger from the PS4 to the PS4 Pro. I don't really have any like hardware statistics to back that up, but that's just how I feel.
Yeah, and I think really, if you get behind the tech of it, I mean, like we've kind of been saying, like the tech evolves so quickly that's probably why that was the case. Like the PlayStation 4 only being out a year after, and then coming out with the PlayStation 4 Pro, I think 2 years after. Actually, once we get to it, yeah, that's definitely adds some time for them to improve it pretty greatly.
Yeah, and here we are.
Yeah, so. We get to the PlayStation 4 Pro, otherwise known as the old fighter jet. Again, I can't really speak too much on it, but considering from what you've told me, it was the same problem. I mean, this thing just sounded like you were about to get hit by a freaking bomb from overhead, bro.
Yeah.
That thing was so insanely loud, bro.
I think the trajectory of consoles, maybe I'm the minority, but I feel like they don't need to make them smaller. They should make them bigger to prevent that issue. Because it's just sitting there. Like, why does it matter?
Yeah, I mean, they did a good job with PlayStation 5 once we get to there. I mean,
yeah,
the PlayStation 5 is pretty quiet and discreet, honestly, considering that it's a lot bigger in size in the PlayStation 4. It is kind of cool that they did prioritize that, because obviously that must have been something that people were complaining about. PlayStation was probably like, oh shit.
Yeah.
you gotta fix our shit, bro. But actually this was unveiled on September 7th, 2016. So literally you had the 4, the Slim, and the Pro all revealed 1 year after the other.
Yeah, those were some quickies. I do remember that.
Yeah. So the PlayStation 4 the PlayStation 4 Pro, debuted at $400, and that was the baseline of a terabyte. So it's really not much different than the original PlayStation 4. It's actually the same exact price. So yeah, I guess it was cool. I never got the Pro, like I said, but at least they didn't up the price, I guess, like they do now.
Yeah, the PS5 Pros are insane. We got Jedi Zombie in here. Halo 2 is the best one. I agree.
The Flood. Flood, bro. That's all I gotta say.
I remember ODST getting kind of pooped on, but I thought it was alright.
ODST was badass, and just also so was Reach. I fucking love Reach.
Yeah, wasn't too bad. Let's see. What is the best-selling game on the PlayStation 4?
You'll never guess. Actually, I was surprised. We got Marvel's Spider-Man. Yeah, so this bad boy sold over 20 million copies, digitally and physically, of course, now that we're getting into this day and age, as opposed to just discs as it was in PlayStation 1, 2, and probably 3 for the most part. For a good chunk of it, I should say. Not all of it. But Spider-Man was a badass game, bro. I'm kind of glad that this was actually the number one selling game on PlayStation 4. I remember playing this game whenever I used to live with you, bro. I was freaking still in college.
Yeah, over there web slinging.
Yeah, this game was badass, bro. I'm really happy that that this one was the one. I was fully expecting GTA 5 again. I'm not even gonna lie, but
yeah,
seeing Spider-Man was kind of refreshing. I was honestly kind of surprised it wasn't The Last of Us as well. I was expecting GTA 5 or The Last of Us for sure, but it is what it is.
yeah. The internet doesn't lie.
Oh yeah, it tells the truth all the time.
No, it was a pleasant surprise. I was tired of seeing GTA on the Xbox when we did. My God, that shit was everywhere. But they also have 18 fucking thousand consoles. So.
Yeah. For those of you that haven't played the Spider-Man games, I would highly recommend it. Especially as we talked about earlier, Wolverine's coming out. It's made by the same people, so it's gonna be sick.
Should be a bop. Is that all you had to say about the old PS4?
Pretty much, bro. It was a solid console. I mean, that was a console I played at during college, and I kind of stepped away from gaming for a good little chunk of that time. Like, I had a PlayStation 4. I played a lot of it whenever I was still in high school with you and Luis and all them, but I didn't ever really went I think as I went into college, and especially whenever I was in the middle of it, I kind of stopped playing a lot of games.
Yeah. There's a little
So I
break
definitely
there.
spent some time on there, and then I started playing them again once I was out of college, and I saw my PlayStation 4, and that's where I started getting back into Call of Duty and stuff.
Yeah. Well, that only leaves one more. The GOAT.
This image is not from God, bro. I don't know what I'm looking at, but it's not anything that should be seen by the human eyes.
Oh, man. Let's see. The original PS5 launched on November 12th, 2020 for US, Canada, Mexico, Japan, Australia, New Zealand. Uh, November 19th, 2020 for Europe and the Middle East, South America. As we all know.
But yeah, I was about to say you couldn't get one, but yeah.
Yeah. And they dropped 2 separate ones at the same time. They had one with the disk drive and one without it. Microsoft did a similar thing. The one with the disk drive was $500 at launch. The digital was $400, but that also equates to about $1,200 on Facebook Marketplace if you wanted to get your hands on one.
Yeah.
The old scalper redo.
Bro, it was insane. People, websites were Target and Walmart were launching these consoles as they were getting them in, and bots were literally buying them up within seconds, bro.
Yeah, and that was
It's
COVID
insane.
era, so
wild.
I don't know if the manufacturing was lacking or if it was just people stuck at home pushing their keyboard trying to make some money. But
no, they were pulling a Cartman playing WoW, bro, for sure.
Yeah.
Sitting there coding a bunch of fucking websites with all sorts of different emails that they just made.
Yeah. And here we are, as we talked about earlier, the focus was on lower fan noise and better thermals compared to the base PS4 and PS4 Pro under heavy load. I'd say they succeeded.
I would too.
PSU is internal, the power supply. Power draw under heavy gaming is generally in the 200 watt range, depending on workload, varies by game and revision. And then, of course, the controller, I think that's one of their best ones.
That's what I was saying earlier. I think PlayStation 5's controller is probably my favorite video game controller since the 360s.
Yeah, they did good. Let's see here. Has shipped approximately 92.2 million units worldwide, despite initial supply constraints following its November 2020 launch. The console has demonstrated strong, consistent sales, tracking closely behind the life cycle pace of the PlayStation 4. They came out the gate swinging.
Yeah, no, I honestly think the PlayStation 5 was a really good console. Is a really good console. I don't have any complaints with it, bro.
Yeah, I don't either. And then as per usual, we get a Slim after that. I saw one on display the other day. It's not really that much smaller. I don't feel like, but whatever.
Nah, I don't really think so. I think they kind of made it a little bit more narrower, but I mean, just kind of getting rid of the disk drive makes any console a slim. If you're
Yeah,
really gonna be honest.
yeah. So
So
there's really not a whole lot to say about that. I don't believe they changed any hardware. And then the PlayStation 5 Pro, you really don't hear. Me personally, I don't hear as much about this as we did the PS4 Pro. I feel like this thing
mm-mm.
kind of just flew under the radar. To be
I
honest.
honestly I feel like it kind of flew under the radar because people were just happy to get their hands on a PlayStation 5 in general, bro.
Yeah,
After what we just talked about, like it was a big deal not being able to get one.
yeah. And by the time they actually did, they dropped this, and they're like, "Are you fucking serious?" No.
Yeah, it was like I just waited 5 years to get your guys' base model, so no thanks.
Yeah. And then this was the first console that Sony made that came with an SSD. I believe you could swap it yourself on the PS4, but this one comes standard with one, and it's user upgradable with an M.2, which was a nice addition. Although, just like everything else we talked about, if you want an SSD now, you're cooked. Um, but yeah,
Yeah.
the
I
go ahead.
forgot to say the prices, bro. Sorry.
I did for not the Pro, but I did the base.
Oh, the Pro, 700.
See, that's wild. I don't I haven't played on one, but I don't feel like, again, like I said earlier, the performance boost is gonna be worth that extra price as it was for the PS4 or PS4 Pro.
Yeah.
Because if I remember correctly, the original PS4 I don't think could do any 4K, but the Pro could. Not, I mean, it's all upscaled bullshit nonsense, but that was a huge leap for that time. But this is just like, I don't know, PS5 is good enough for 99.9% of the people.
Yeah. No, I don't. I didn't really see a need for it whenever they announced it, bro. I remember, I like my PlayStation 5, man. It runs really well on anything that I've ever played on it. So
Yeah, and then they announced, or with this, the stupid attachable disk drive, which you have to
yeah,
spend another, I think it's like $100 on, so that's kind of
yeah,
goofy.
yeah. And as you see in the picture, well, probably you probably can't see it on the slideshow, but it says the vertical stand is sold separately as well. So
Yeah, wild. They kind of
yeah,
amplified it.
PlayStation. Yeah, PlayStation kind of getting their little greedy mitts on everything, bro.
Yeah. And then the most selling game for this one was, drum roll, oh, Marvel Spider-Man again, over 12
Yeah,
milli. Sheesh.
yeah, and it's really surprising, bro. I was honestly really expecting um, to see Grand Theft Auto yet again,
Yeah, same here.
but it is what it is.
Not too shabby. Just shake it up a little bit.
Yeah, the Spider-Man 2 wasn't as good, but it was still a good game, to be honest. So I was pretty happy to see that's on there too.
Yeah.
It was better than that Miles Morales, bro. That game, they marketed it as like a new Spider-Man game, and it was legit just a DLC. That's all it was like 10 hours. That's it.
Yikes.
Yeah,
They got greedy, like you said.
yeah.
But
But as I was kind of saying earlier, the PlayStation 5 is. I love this console, bro. I've played countless number of games on it. So it's like a couple of my favorites that come to mind are Grand Theft, Grand Theft Auto 5 is ever I really played it on the PlayStation 5, to be honest. But God of War, Red Dead 2, because I got that on PS4, but I played it again on PlayStation 5. It was a completely different experience, bro.
yeah. Cyberpunk.
But God of War, Cyberpunk. I never really played on PlayStation 5, but I do want to play it again on it. The Spider-Man games are badass. Last of Us, even the second part, the Uncharted series. Like I played all those games on my PlayStation 5 and not even on the 4. And it's badass, bro. But like the games that came out on PlayStation 5, especially like God of War, is like a staple for me at this point. I feel like that game kind of exemplifies everything that PlayStation 5 like can offer. Like it's so immersive, expansive, it's beautiful, like the graphics are insane. And that PlayStation 5 is that game it's in and of itself just kind of showcases the power that the PlayStation 5 does have, because like there's no loading times, there's no frame rate drops really. It's just like a streamlined process, bro, as you're playing this like massive game. It's just insane. Especially if you think about playing games on the 360 or PlayStation 2, bro. It's just wild.
Yeah, we have come a long way. It does make you wonder, not the topic of today's episode, but it does make you wonder, like, where are we going now? Like, is the
Yeah.
PS6 really going to be that much of a jump?
No, but they'll market it as such, and then eventually they'll stop selling stuff for PlayStation 5. So you're going to have to get one eventually.
It'll do 16K before 8K even gets adopted.
They'll make their own. They'll make it 32, bro. Fuck it.
Yeah. But all right, hell yeah. Yeah, I didn't have a PlayStation 5 at launch. I just barely got one recently, but it's not really for me. I don't really play it a whole lot, but so I don't have as much to say as you, but no, it does run clean. Very plug and play. I mean, they all are, but it definitely is the most powerful.
Yeah, it's really nice, bro. I honestly really enjoy my PlayStation 5. And it's really cool for a person that still collects physical media. I still fucking use it for the disc drive to play movies on still, and it's badass for that too. I can't really speak on the streaming. If we're gonna stream something, we do it on the TV. We don't ever use a PlayStation. But I know that Xbox has a PlayStation B if you're looking for more stream friendly devices.
Yeah, but physical media is more important. Like for having a 4K Blu-ray, like you could stream on anything. You can go buy a Roku for fucking $15.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. Well, that leaves the last two. These probably won't take that long. I really don't have a whole lot to say, but
yeah.
Are you ready? Buckle up for the wiener.
We have the PlayStation Portable, otherwise known as the PSP, or as we like to call it, the pretty small peener.
A lot of you guys are like, I have literally never heard that.
Yeah. No, bro, whenever we would talk about the PSP, you know that's what we'd say, the pretty small peenie.
Yeah. Jedi Zombie said she loved watching you play God of War. It was such a sick game.
Yeah, that game was badass. It really was. And it really showcased the power of the PlayStation 5, bro. But anyway, yeah. Onto the pretty small peener. We just had hot dogs tonight, so it's making me think about my dinner.
Let's go.
No, the PSP was pretty cool, bro. I had one growing up, and obviously I got rid of that a long time ago. But recently, I think it was about a year and a half ago, I bought another PSP just for nostalgic reasons, and it's pretty cool, bro. Like I honestly think it's cool how they came out with like a system that has like its own little discs made for it. Like it's just cool to me that they have like, I mean, they're shaped weird as fuck in the plastic cases. It's not just like a little disc. You have to get the thing that's like square on the bottom and it rounds up on top. I don't know, it's weird, but I thought it was a pretty cool little machine, bro. And even now, as I've played around with it and stuff since I got it, I have Rock Band on there. I know it sounds weird to have that on the PSP, but it's pretty cool. And then the movies, they came out with a lot of movies for it, and I thought that was pretty sick.
Yeah, those little discs were cool. Very innovative.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't really have much else to say about it. I mean, I did play a lot on my PSP as I was driving to and from Albuquerque for the most part on my breaks and stuff. But it was a pretty cool little system, bro. I actually thought it did pretty well.
Yeah, anybody listening in the future, this is interesting because you think like, what was the best-selling game on there? Well, it was Grand Theft Auto again.
Liberty City Stories, 8 million. I never played that game.
I don't believe I have either.
It's wild to think that, yeah, Grand Theft Auto also outsold any other handheld game as well for considering the PSP.
Yeah, 8 million is pretty impressive too for a handheld.
Yeah. I feel like the PSP was pretty popular whenever it first dropped, and then it kind of did a rapid decline once, PlayStation 3 kind of was evolving and PlayStation 4 came out, and kind of handhelds went out the window, there for a while. So,
Yeah. And now they're kind of making a comeback as technology advances. You can actually get a pretty fair amount of power in the palm of your hands.
yeah.
But
Yeah.
that just leaves one more. The PlayStation Vita, otherwise known as the Tech Deck Hoverboard. This one, I actually had one of these. Not when it came out, but I had one for a little bit. I thought it was the coolest thing ever, but it quickly got like kind of meh.
Was it touchscreen?
It was, yeah, and it had a touch pad on the back.
That's pretty cool, bro.
It's pretty
fancy.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure the front screen was touch, but the back definitely was. It was like a kind of like a PS5 gamepad, like the middle pad. And you could like do shit in the games. But yeah, the novelty of it kind of wore off pretty quick for me. But I've never been much of a handhelder. I just get uncomfortable really fast.
Yeah, no, this was the last PlayStation handheld besides the Backbone, but like you said, that's not really a handheld necessarily.
Portal, I think, yeah.
It's yeah. Oh yeah. Sorry, the Portal. The Backbone's what the like your phone, right?
The Backbone is what you should get if you're gonna get a Portal, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. But the Portal is kind of an extension more so than an actual handheld, in my opinion.
Right, yeah. Well, the PlayStation Vita is Sony's second and so far last handheld console, launched in 2011 as a powerful PS3 in your hands, system that ultimately became a cult favorite despite commercial underperformance.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't even know this. I didn't even get a picture of this, but they later released a PS Vita Slim, which keeps the same GPU, RAM, so it swaps the OLED for a LCD. That seems like a weird move. Adds 1 gigabyte of internal storage, improves power efficiency. We're learning together.
That's pretty cool. I never had a Vita. Sounds
See.
fancy though.
Yeah, you got a Vita, bro?
Yeah, I had a PSP.
Vita was conceived as a PSP successor after PSP's mixed but notable success against Nintendo's handheld dominance. It was officially unveiled as NGP, Next Generation Portable, before E3 2011, where it was named PlayStation Vita. Vita equals life, with Mark Kearney as the lead architect. Kearney, maybe? We got Luis. My cousin had GTA for the PSP, and that was the first time I'd ever played a GTA game. Damn, you guys were experiencing it on that little screen.
Bad kids, bro. Bad kids.
You're all in the closet.
Those are the types you don't want to be around.
The system launched in Japan in 2011. Vita, let's see. Yeah, native cartridge. If I remember correctly, that was similar to like a Nintendo Switch. They went to like cartridges. I mean, 2012 was pretty old for, or new for disc. Crossplay and cross-buy support with PS3 and PS4 for mobile titles. Buy once, play on multiple games, shared servers, multiplayer in some cases. Remote play with PS4, letting you stream and control games on Vita. I don't know if I had one of those at the same time as that, but that sounds pretty cool.
Huh. Oh yeah.
That's really all I gotta say about that. I don't have the price here.
I couldn't find that either, bro, to be honest.
But we do have the best-selling game. This didn't surprise me because this is why I bought the game, and it was a really cool game. It was Uncharted: The Golden Abyss. It was a spin-off, but it used that back touchpad for stuff, which I thought was cool.
I didn't even know that they came out with only handheld Uncharted, bro.
Yeah. It released for, that's not bad, $250 for the Wi-Fi model. Oh, wow, $300 for the Wi-Fi plus 3G model. Damn, you can get that 3G, brother. You could be playing that shit on the train. Plus optional data plan through AT&T. Damn. That's pretty impressive.
I just imagine like going into AT&T now or T-Mobile, and you're like, yeah, put that PS Vita on my fucking plan, bro.
Yeah, do you guys
Yeah,
support the
shit.
PlayStation Vita still?
I want that cellular data on my shit, bro. Give me it.
But hell yeah. Hell yeah. That's our second deep dive. First one on video and live.
Yeah, it's pretty sick, bro. Hope you guys liked it. We spent some time on the slideshow. It's pretty cool.
It looks low budget, but that's not on purpose.
No, it is on purpose, bro. What do you mean?
Yeah, it's done on purpose.
Oh, yeah. I thought you said not on purpose. Yeah.
Nah. It was very methodically planned out for weeks of studying.
Yeah, this is all I lived, breathed the past 5 months of my life.
Yes.
Looking into the PlayStation models.
Yes, all to bring it to you shitters.
Yeah. Went and bought every model on eBay and took them apart to look at all the internal hardware pieces of each and every console.
Yeah.
Every iteration.
That video is coming up soon. Just kidding.
Yeah, that was the PlayStation deep dive. You guys like that? It's not on video, but we do have the Xbox one where we go into the Xbox's shit.
That we do, and stay tuned for the next deep dive. I got some brewing, and Ethan's got some brewing. It's not all gonna be gaming related, for the record. There's gonna be some wild stuff in the future, so stay tuned. Every Sunday, possibly, more than likely.
Yeah.
All right. Well, goodbye for now.
See y'all